So those are the drawings that you have showing the palisade and the corners. What was the purpose of each of the corners where the platforms were?
So they could set handle so they could shoot.
If they needed to, and also so their guardsmen could stand there and have a higher view of the land beyond.
No, but you could.
You could what?
But the muskets put them. They had snipers.
Yeah.
But they didn't have.
And it also to warn the others of any impending dangers. All right, let's keep on going. Bottom page 84. Thank goodness the sailors are still with us. They, along with our laborers, soldiers, and other working men, are the only ones with the strength and speed to get the job done. If we had to depend on the gentlemen, many of whom still don't want to dirty their velvet, we would be at the mercy of the Indians for many more weeks. As it is, the natives mount small attacks every other day on any man or creature who strays too far from our guarded half-built fort. They shoot Master Clovel while he is out hunting. He comes running back to the fort with arrows sticking out of him and dies soon after. They shoot and kill another man in the woods when he drops his slops to relieve himself. They even shoot one of Captain Newport's dogs while she was out sniffing after a rabbit. Captain Smith finds me using a hatchet to sharpen a palisade post tips. He is holding a belt, sheath, sword, and armor. I recognize the sword. It has a C molded into the handle. It belonged to Master Clovel, whose grave I've just helped dig. Samuel, do you think you can put some of that energy from your fist fights into learning to use a sword? Captain Smith asks. My hatchet stops in midair. Yes, sir, I say. I try not to sound too eager. You are, after all, an apprentice to an officer, he says. It's time to begin your training. Yes, ma'am?
Can I see Andrew for a minute, please?
He is still in Miss Moore's room. We're switching late today.
Oh, good, because Miss Pretty and I were just seeing if we could read the schedule together. Okay, thank you.
Oh, you know what? He's also absent today. I'm sorry, Miss Lehman.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry. Okay, I lay my tools on the ground. I wipe my hands on my slops. You're lucky, Captain Smith says. Master Clovel was a slight man. His belt and armor will fit you well. And they won't fit Henry or Abram or any other unarmed men who want them, I think. With arrows flying every day, weapons and armor are more coveted than gold. Give me a synonym for coveted.
Important.
But write it. More coveted than gold. Synonym. Think about if you were Sam, you were Abram, you were any of these people. Okay, that could be one. That is one. Oh, that's a great one, Tristan. That's a really good one, Liam. Good. Wonderful. Yes. Pretty good. Show the class yours. And, oh, you already erased yours? Good. That's even better, Lane. Excellent, Alana. Show the class yours, Alana, Lane, and Tristan. Lane, what did yours say? Wanted. And Tristan said treasured, coveted, wanted, treasured, valuable. Captain, you are not taking my work, are you? John Layden asks. He is the carpenter overseeing the building of the Palisades, top of page 86. I'd better take him now and teach him a thing or two so he'll live to work another day, Captain Smith says. John Layden nods. And I've got permission to leave. Master Clovel's armor is a little bit big, but it fits well enough. I will grow into it. The breastplate makes me feel like I have a large chest. I wrap my knuckles on it and admire the clang. Okay, wrap your knuckles somewhere. Let me hear the sound of it. I only heard one person rapping. Should be rapping on your desktop. That's wood. You're supposed to be rapping on what? What is armor made of? Rap on something metal. Yeah, you should be rapping on the side of your desk. That's what it sounds like. Okay. No arrow can pierce this metal. The helmet is heavy. I feel like a soldier already. Will I have a musket too? I ask. First, you will learn to use a sword, Captain Smith says. I fasten the belt around my waist and pull the sword up out of its sheath. The handle is smooth and cool, and the sword is heavy. It glints in the sun. I take it in both hands and whip it through the air. It makes a sharp whoosh. What kind of word is that? Captain Smith begins my instruction. I want to think about the sword, but he tells me I must think about my feet and watch his feet as well. It is like dancing, he says, but I've never learned to dance, and so it's all new to me. It's a dance of death with your opponent, he says. You mirror his steps until you see a weak spot, and then you lunge. He suddenly steps forward, knee bent, and I am stuck in the chest with his blade. I gasp and look down. Captain Smith laughs at my terrified expression. Did you forget you were wearing the armor? I let out my breath. No, I lie. You must block me. Don't let me into your circle. And slowly he goes again for a lunge. I think fast, swat his sword with my blade, and knock his off its course toward my chest. Very good, he shouts. We pattern our steps, as in a slow dance, him giving me time to balance his movements with my own. He raises his eyebrows when he is about to strike, his signal to me to protect myself. I hear the satisfying clang as my sword knocks his away. We speed up, our feet moving more and more quickly. No time for thought now, only reaction. I am out of breath, sweating, our swords clanging and ringing out. He is always one step ahead of me, always quicker. I am tiring. I see a gap, my chance to enter his circle. He's still with me, middle page 87. I step forward, lunge. Suddenly, there is scraping, a pain in my hand, and my sword is wrenched from my grasp. It lands on the ground behind me, and I stand there unarmed with Captain Smith's sword hovering just in front of my throat. I am defeated, but Captain Smith laughs. It takes a long time to learn to use a sword properly, Samuel. Go and pick it up. I rub my sore fingers and I move them until they feel better. Then I grab my sword again, narrow my eyes, and concentrate. I will try again. Captain Smith moves slowly at first, giving me a chance to find my rhythm. Then he speeds up as before, and I follow. I put my mind aside, and I feel only my body. Stepping, moving. The dance of death sweeps us into its circle. Our swords clash and clang. My breath comes in short gasps. I see the opening. I lunge. My blade finds its mark. The tip presses into Captain Smith's armor, just above his heart. He holds his hands, drops his sword, and he speaks slowly. The student, he says gravely, has impaled the teacher. I begin to shake my head. I did not mean to anger him. And then he breaks into a broad smile. I wipe beads of sweat from my face. My hand is shaking. We will train every day, he tells me. Wear your armor whenever you leave the fort. The sword will be no match for flying arrows, but tomorrow I will begin to teach you to use another weapon. One that is much more powerful than the sword. I nod calmly, but inside, I am excited. Tomorrow, I will learn to use a... Let's find out if that's what he learns.